Hello. In this video, I'll show you how to calculate income taxes. So here's the questions, and this is the 2024 tax table, and here you see this marginal tax rate, and this is the column for different filing status: single, married filing jointly, head of household, and married filing separately. And you notice that there's each status has different standard deduction. We're going to use that in this question. So here's the question. Juan Martin has a $124,000 of income from wages and $4,200 of income interest. So he has a two income, 124,000 from the wages and 4,200 as an interest. So this is the total income. You add these two numbers to find the total income. Juan also made contribution to 3,100 to a tax deferred retirement account. So this number 3,100 is adjustment. Anything that goes into the tax deferred retirement account is adjustment. Juan Martin filing status is married, filing separately. So the status of Juan Martin is married, filing separately, which is the last column in this tax bracket. So we had to use only this column in this case. But notice that you might have different status. If you have a status that is single, you have to use this column here. If you have a status with the married filing jointly, you have to use this column. So depends on the filing status, you have to use a required column. Okay. All right. So here the first question was the Martin total income. So total income is going to be 124,000 from the wages and 4,200. If you add this number, 124,000 plus 4,200, that's the total income is $128,200. That's the total income you type here. Next question is, what's the Juan Martin adjusted gross income? So to find that, you subtract this adjustment, which is tax deferred retirement account amount, which is 3,100, from the total income, which is also called gross income. So you subtract 3,100 in from this $124,000. So you get $125,100 is adjusted gross income goes here. Okay. Now next question is for Juan Martin filing status, the standard deduction is 14,600. So here 14,600 is married filing separately standard deduction. Also this is the same for single. So always you subtract standard deduction from adjusted gross income to find the taxable income. So the taxable income is going to be $124,100 minus $14,600. So you get $110,500 here. That is Juan Martin taxable income. So this number here is $110,500. Okay, and now the big part is to find the income tax for Juan Martin. Again, we use this tax table to find the Juan Martin income tax for his income, which is $110,500. Notice that this is the taxable income. Okay, this is the taxable income. So this taxable income is in, let's see, he's filing married separately. We use this last column here. His taxable income belongs to this row here, because $110,500 belongs here, right, between these two numbers. So he is in 24% tax bracket. That's what we call Juan Martin taxable income belongs to 24% tax bracket. So he's paying 10%, 12%, 22%, and 24% of his taxable income. So let's find how much of his taxable income he got to pay 10%. It's up to 11,600. So $11,600 he paid 10%. We multiply by 0.10 of this amount. He paid $1,160 of his 11,600 taxable income. Let's see how much his taxable income applies to 12%. To find that, you subtract this two limit. This is lower limit, this is upper limit. So you do 40. You subtract $47,150 and $11,600. That's going to be $35,550. That applies to 12%. So you multiply this by 0.12. So he paid $4,266 because of 12%. Now for 22%, he still need to pay 22% up to this amount. So how much of his income applies to 22%? To find that, you subtract these two numbers. This is the upper limit of 22% and this is the lower limit of 22%. You subtract this number. So you subtract $100,525 and $150. You get $53,375. This applies to 22%. So you multiply this by 22%, which is going to be 0.22. You get $11,742.50. That's for 22%. Finally, he also need to pay 24% of his taxable income because his taxable income falls here. We found his taxable income before in part C of this question, which was 110 500. Okay, $110,500. That's the taxable income. So this belongs to in this 24% tax bracket here. So to find how much he paid 24% of his taxable income, you subtract this taxable income minus, and this is the amount you need to subtract. So you get 100,525. So this, let me put the comma here, 100,525. So $9,975. This is applies to only 24%. To find how much taxes because of 24%, you multiply by this 0.24. Okay, 0.24. So he paid $2,394 because of 24% rate. So he has a 1160. That's the amount. From 10%, from 12%, 4266, and from 22% he has $11,742.50, and from 24% he has $2,394. If you add all this number, you get the final income taxes. Here I add all the numbers: 1160 from 10%, $4,266 for 12%, $11,742.50 from 22%, and $2,394 from 24%. Total comes to be $19,562.50. So that's the total income taxes. So in this last answer, you put this number, but notice that it's rounded to the nearest dollar. So you don't put the cent here. You just write $63 eventually. $62 here makes you $63. So answer going to be $19,563 here. Okay, thank you. Bye.